Welcome back to the Rocker Skating Podcast. It is another week of the Challenger Series. Hello, Michelle.
Hi, Jackie. Want to go to Kazakhstan?
There was a time in my previous career where I almost worked on a building in Kazakhstan when I was an architect. Yeah.
Cool.
They do a lot of building there, so that is a thing. Kazakhstan. So we are, let me just go back. This is Rocker Skating Podcast, episode 10. We're in the double digits. I know, crazy. As always, sponsored by John Wilson Blades and many more of their brands. Thank you, John Wilson Blades, and many more of your brands. We are Denis Ten Memorial Challenge. Of course, the late Denis Ten, who was murdered a number of years ago now. It's kind of crazy that it's been so long. It feels like it still feels so close, even though I think it's been a decade now, almost. And this is the sixth time already that this competition has happened, and 6 times in 7 years because it didn't happen during the pandemic season. But it was great to see not only all the great skaters that were in this competition, but also the representation from Kazakhstan of skaters, right? There was representation in the men's event, there was representation in the women's event, and then also Norizova and Datiev, who were at the Olympic qualifying event, was in dance. So that was the big one for the Denis Ten Memorial Challenge. How many more? I don't think we have that many more Challenger Series events left. We're over halfway through, pretty sure.
Yeah. Georgia next week.
I feel like we've had like 15 of them already.
Yeah. Yeah, there have been quite a few.
There have been quite a few.
Yeah.
Let's start off with the ice dance event. And there were a couple of interesting things. I think we all expected Davis and Spoken to win it. We all expected there to be a very close race amongst a number of teams, some of whom were at the at Chinese double horn. And we talked a lot about Reitan Mayurov at Chinese double horn, and they came back, and that free dance has only gotten better.
Yeah, they got the score they deserved at this event.
They got the score.
And the one they deserved at the Olympic qualifier, too. This is about where I would have had them, 108.
I know.
Yeah.
That would have
easily really
put them in that qualifying spot.
Yeah.
Davis and Spoken, we were talking about this last week. Pretty fly for a white guy.
I have really mixed feelings about their programs. I think their free dance was like a great step up for them. I think that it showcases improvement. I'm a big fan of the Offspring. I've seen them in concert. I bought this album when it came out and I was in high school. This was a weird choice. I felt like it was a work for them to try and match the energy of the music. And I was very confused when it transitioned into Bills. I don't really know what was going on there. And then it went back to the Offspring. That was an odd rhythm dance. And yeah.
I think it's similar to last year. I do think that their free dances have gotten better and better every single season. Last year's free dance was very good. Like you said, showcasing the improvements. I agree with this year's free dance as well. It was, I think they won this one fair and square. I have no qualms about that. But interesting to see if they do change up that rhythm dance music, because like I agree, like they don't, those two cuts of music don't go together.
No, like at all. And I don't know, something about the jarring kind of characteristics of that song doesn't really lend itself to like fluid movement and dance. It's very like you want to jump up and down. You don't want to really dance to it.
It has been an issue, right, with a lot of these more pop song themes over the past few years, that there are people who will choose music that is less flowy, right, which goes against what ice dance does, and some people are able to pull it off well, and then some aren't. The majority aren't, right, because it is very hard to something that is edges and turns kind of thing
Mhm.
for a discipline to make it much less that. And so I think that's part of the reaction that we're
Mhm.
seeing here.
I thought the Browns did a pretty good job with House of Pain. That was I mean, but that music has, like, a kind of a more dance feeling to it, but they made their program very hip hop, while also, having clean turns and, kind of integrating the kind of hip hop movement into the ice dance. I could do without the headstands, but I think I liked everything else. A little more speed, it's a good vehicle for them.
How have the headstands become the touching of the boards this year?
I don't know.
Like who was the one who was like passing notes around about headstands, and like now like a bunch of different people are doing
We've
it.
got headstands, spray on abs. What else? What else is gonna happen? It's like these negative trends. Yeah. But the headstands are something I expect from a team like the Browns. It's just they do that kind of stuff, but yeah, I'd rather not.
It just gives me a headache.
Yeah.
I do really like their Godfather free dance though.
It's good for them. I
It's
love the
so
ending
good for
too.
them. Yes,
It's like
yes.
slit his neck, kill his
I
ass. It's
know.
great.
That's not what happens
Yeah.
at the Godfather, but yeah, it's
Uh-huh.
okay. Violent ending to
Mm.
a violent movie.
Mhm. Uh,
Uh,
Nesta and
yeah,
Markelov, I love their free dance again. I feel like it has such unique movement in it, like good positions. The costumes are great. I love their coach, like Elena Dostotny striding back and forth behind the boards as they're skating. Like the whole thing was very entertaining. Still struggling to get levels on their steps. And
yeah.
I'm really not a fan of their rhythm dance. The music is it's all over the place to the point where it makes it feel long. There's so many cuts from different songs from different, like, genres of that era.
I think the gripe on the rhythm dance
Mhm,
music choices is going to continue this season. There's
mhm.
still more. There's still more to
Oh, yeah, we
debut.
haven't even seen half of them yet,
Yeah,
yeah.
I know it's kind of crazy.
Mhm.
That was Ice Dance. Anything else that you want to talk about there?
No, I mean, no, it was a good competition. It
I
was,
was gonna say
yeah.
Fabian Iyer, who last year got the third spot for the Canadians at
Mhm,
Worlds, kind of wrote them out a bit, right?
mhm,
Um, because we talked about this last week. L'Oreal Lagak had such a
mhm,
big first competition, and Fabian Iyer just they it looks like they had opened up this
mhm.
chasm between the two of them, and now I think that's closing a bit more.
Mm.
It'll be interesting to see
I
where that goes.
I wasn't crazy about Fabrienne Ayer's free dance. I felt like it was all things we've seen before out of the school they train in. Like, I didn't feel like there was any original movement in it. The music, the Lighthouse song is very overused in skating. So
Yep.
I don't know. I just feel like if you're kind of pushing to get an Olympic spot, maybe go out of, like, the comfort zone a little bit, but maybe that's a choice not to.
Right.
Their costumes are beautiful. I loved her dress.
Another Lighthouse, another Alyona
Yeah.
Savchenko special,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
All right, so that's the ice dance. Let's go to the
Mhm.
women. The women was an interesting one. This was not as deep of a field as we've seen in recent Challenger Series events.
Mhm.
Hay and Lee winning that one, really skating stronger than we've seen her in a
Mhm.
while. I mean, obviously she's just come back,
Mhm.
and well, not just come back. I guess came back late last season, but
Mhm.
I think she hasn't returned to that one season where
Mhm.
she was on the
Yeah.
world podium, and she's always been sort of this inconsistent rotator, and
Mhm.
that has continued to be the case this season. But here it was generally pretty good. I would say just looking at some of the jumps in real time, it felt like this panel was a bit lenient on
Mhm.
rotation calls, especially
Mhm.
as compared to what we've seen in the past. Like I saw
Yeah.
more potential Qs and unders than it was called. Um,
Yeah.
and it could very well be that they didn't review it, or it could very well be that they chose to give it a Q instead of an under, or give it a clean
Mhm.
instead of a Q, right? Like, who knows? I'm not sure what those were like.
Mhm. Yeah. I mean, her 132 popped up in the free skate, I was like, "Wow," because there are a lot of under rotations in that program. I think we'd see that go down significantly if she were in with a tougher panel, maybe a Grand Prix event. But I liked her free skate. I feel like it was a bit, like, lower energy, like she was focusing on getting through it. Once she has, I think, more, endurance and is, really performing it full out, it could be a good vehicle for her. The music of the short program was a special kind of awful. It was like a cover of My Way, and it was like a female voice that sounded like Celine Dion, but not Celine Dion. It was very hard to listen to. Um, and yeah, that was an interesting choice. I usually love her programs, and that started, and I was like, "Whoa."
Well, I mean, going back to the free skate that you were
Yeah.
talking about, right? Like, she's very much, I feel like lyrical has always been a
Mhm.
thing for her,
Mhm.
and to do Carmen requires a kind of, you know,
Spiciness
yeah,
that
right,
she isn't
and
bringing yet.
right,
Yeah.
exactly. It's not in her wheelhouse to do
Mhm.
something like that, right? I mean, you think about some of her previous, like, really strong programs was like,
Mhm.
the West Side Story from many years
Mhm.
ago, and Phantom of the Opera
Mhm.
and Notre Dame, right? Like, those are
Yeah.
all sort of lyrical dramatic,
Yeah.
not like,
Storytelling. Mhm.
yeah, and Carmen requires a sort of fire in your eyes that she
Yeah.
hasn't quite got
She
quite
needs to
yet.
take some, like, face acting lessons from Ashley Wagner. Like,
Well,
teach her
I
how to
mean,
serve.
well, and it's a Misha G program, right? And,
Yeah.
if there's anybody who serves expression,
Yeah.
it's always been Misha G, and I
Yeah.
think that's probably one of those, like, get some more like
Yeah.
FaceTime with
Mhm.
Misha, and go there. I'm actually looking. Oh, interesting. So this cover of My Way was done by somebody named Sydney Christmas,
Mm.
who won the 17th series of Britain's Got Talent.
Oh, boy. We need to take her microphone away. Sorry, Sydney Christmas.
Hot takes from Michelle Ellis.
Yeah, that was a lot.
That's a no from me, dog.
Mhm. Mhm.
Oh wait, no, that's American Idol. It's still different. Okay, so that was that was Hay and Lee for the women.
Mhm.
Ah Sun Yun, who last year was the sort of dark horse, skated stronger this week,
Mhm.
but not to the kind of like dark horsey that we saw last
Mhm.
season. It'll be a lot tougher given the competition in South Korea this season for her to
Mhm.
really make a run at it if she doesn't get more consistent more
Mhm.
like sooner.
Mhm.
Um, and then speaking of consistency, Maddie
Mm.
Skeezas,
I was ready. I was ready
I
for her to just, like, throw it
I
down. We've
same.
seen it from all the other Canadians. Come on, Maddie.
I know. They
And her so many
and she
pops and yeah.
like she of all people I always felt like she thrives on this
Mhm.
sort of like, if there's somebody who's chasing you, she's gonna show you that she
Mhm.
knows, like,
Mhm.
and show you who's better.
Mhm.
And so far this season, we've seen her skate good programs in the short,
Mhm.
but we have not seen a good free skate yet.
Wouldn't
Um,
say it was a good short, this
it wasn't
competition.
a good short this competition. No, for,
No.
for sure.
Yeah.
Just a little bit out of sorts, a little bit just
Mhm.
like low energy, and hopefully that
Yeah.
that switches a bit when the Grand Prix comes around, because that's
Mhm.
that's going to be where everybody's going to be. The eyes will be on you
Mhm.
on the Grand
Mhm.
Prix.
Maybe she can, like, watch Gabby Daleman's Instagram stories before she competes next
I
time
know,
and
it's like literally right before she gets
get
on, like,
mad.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Uh, Josephine Lee
Mhm.
actually skated two strong programs, but like, we talked about the under rotations for Heian.
Yeah.
They called all of those under
Yeah.
rotations for
Yeah.
Josephine Lee, um,
Yeah.
and you saw her face sort of deflate
Mhm. She
when
thought
she
she
got that
skated well.
score. She did. I
Yeah.
mean, she
Yeah.
did, right? Like,
Mhm.
she's always been one of those skaters who doesn't do well internationally for some
Mhm.
reason. And this time it's like, okay, she basically
Yeah.
landed everything. But then, you know, it is one of those things when you are an under rotator like she is,
Mhm.
where it's one of those sort of like hooks out the
Mhm.
landing, you don't feel it. Like there
Yeah.
are often times where you land and you're like, that felt clean to me. And then
Like
you're
Mirai.
completely confused. Yeah, exactly. You're
Mhm.
completely confused as to why it was called. And it's just that last like nanosecond hook.
Mhm.
Like your tope comes down too quickly, too early, and that's kind of what
Mhm.
happens. But,
Yeah.
that 160 was, I think she probably was like she
Yeah.
probably expected like a 120 for that free skate, and
Yeah.
she got like a 106. So
Yeah.
kind of sad. Yeah, so that's the women. The men
Here we go.
the men was exciting.
Mhm.
Mikhail Shaidorov expected coming in as the
Mhm.
world silver medalist, making his debut with these two programs. Expected to win, did win, won by 16 points over Nika Egadze, and a solid skate from Jason Brown to get third. This is a different Jason Brown than we
Mhm.
saw this time last season when we were like,
Yeah,
oh
yeah.
no, what's
Yeah.
happening?
The
Uh,
boots are back. He's
Boots are
got
fine.
good
He's
boots.
got he's got triple axel. I think, just looking at the way that he was skating, there was probably some stamina things.
Mhm.
But
It's
hey,
early. First
yeah,
first
it's
outing.
early.
Yeah,
I do love the river dance short
me too.
program. Oh,
Mhm. It's gonna
a-
be just great in the arena full of people.
this is going to be very blasphemous for me to say. And I did a blasphemous thing last week by telling you that my feelings about Michelle Kwan's 2002
Yeah.
short program. When Jason did Riverdance in 2013, 2014,
Mhm.
I was not a huge fan of it.
Wow.
Yeah.
I don't really like Irish music programs that much, but I get into them when they do them live because the crowd is so into it, it's fun, but, you
I
know.
I think his energy was amazing. The
Mhm.
way that he presented it to the audience was amazing. I didn't love that program.
Well, I don't
And
really think he skated it as well any other time as he did that nationals,
that is true. That is true. But
and it was
it's been
Boston.
but it's also it is Boston. But
Mhm.
it's also become this sort of cult favorite iconic
Mhm.
program, whereas like 12 years later,
Mhm.
Riverdance as a short program, not only given the way that he has improved as a skater over the past decade,
Mhm.
and also the way that, he like everything just has gelled together so well after the years of doing so many different kinds of things, right?
Mhm.
The piano, Hamilton,
Mhm.
Like It or Leave It, like
Yeah.
all of these different genres, and having done like Sinnerman, right? Like that is still one of my favorite programs of all
Yeah.
time, Sinnerman
Yeah.
short program. And all of that experience I see has wrapped into this sort of reprise of
Mhm.
Riverdance, and it is so much better than the original.
Well,
I
thankfully, he's doing it as the short and not the free
Yeah,
skate.
and he's doing it as a short. But like I like that's my
Mhm.
cold take of the day.
Mhm.
And I know people are going to be like, how could you not like? It wasn't that I didn't like it, I didn't love it, I guess,
Mhm.
as much as people do. And I agree that performance was it, and Boston was amazing.
Yeah.
Unsolicited hot take for me today.
It was a Team Brown moment. Yeah. It was. Hey, I have a Jason Brown 2014 national story. I was living
Tell
in
me.
Chicago at the time, and I took the flight home during the gala because I didn't have to work the gala. And all the members of Team Brown were on my flight because they all came on after the men's free skate. We all were leaving, flying back to Chicago because he's from Chicago. And they announced on the plane when he had been named to the Olympic team, and the whole plane
Wow.
cheered. And I was like getting chills. I was like, oh, this is so exciting. But anyway,
What a story.
I know.
I
Yeah.
do love leaving figure skating competitions and going to the airport and
I
just
know
like
you do,
seeing.
and you don't tell any of us goodbye, and you disappear. And we're like, "Where's Jackie? He's missing the men's free skate." "Oh, he had to work on Monday, he left."
I mean, yes. No, but what I was trying to say was I do love it when I go to the airport and I'm like, oh my god,
Mhm.
it's full of figure skating fans.
Yeah.
I literally I'm
Yeah.
seeing people like on their phones watching the
Yeah.
gala or
Yeah.
like, randomly talking about something that happened, especially when
Mhm.
you're not in like a major city and you're like,
Mhm.
okay, well, like half of these people who are going are like
Yeah.
coming from the US
Yeah.
Nationals or something.
Yeah.
Um, it's nice to feel like
You're with your own
you're,
kind.
yeah, and
Yeah.
like your sport isn't like the tiniest sport in the world,
Yeah.
because there is a very fervent and strong fan base here.
Mhm. They're out there.
Tan- tangents. Um, a couple other ones that I wanted to talk about here, that we otherwise wouldn't have talked about, but
Mhm.
are also very like there are implications to it.
Mhm.
Matthew Newnham of Canada getting a 219, a strong score. I've always liked his skating. He's just
Mhm.
I don't think, does he have a triple axel?
Oh, yeah, I
He
remember
does have a
having
triple
it.
axel. Yeah, he
Yeah.
has a triple axel, but he does one in the free skate, right? So it's not always like the most consistent thing for him, but he's always impressed me in
He's with Ravi. My mom's gonna root
yeah.
for someone who's with Ravi. Walia, coach of Caitlin Osmond, among others.
Yeah. I always think that he'll deliver solid performances, and sometimes you see him as like, okay,
Mhm.
well, there's dark horse potential there. So he will be one to kind of like watch out of the corner of your eye for Canadian nationals. Yudong Chen getting a 237, like
Mhm.
that is a big score for a Chinese
Mhm.
guy. That's the highest score so far this season for any of the Chinese men. We seen Daiwei yet? I
We
don't
only
think we
saw him in the
have.
audience at the qualifier. I don't think he's competed
Yeah,
yet. But
yeah, we
Boyoung
haven't
Jin
seen
is
Daiwei.
supposedly coming back.
Bo
China
Boyan
Grand
Jin's
Prix?
supposedly coming back. Like,
Mhm.
yeah, that this is continuing the
Mhm.
theme of like there's just a lot of really potentially close calls, and
Mhm.
competitive nationals. Like this is one of those.
Mhm.
Just watch out for that Chinese second or Chinese one spot for the men for
And
sure.
then a team event,
And the team
which China
events.
could not qualify for.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Um, Sihyeong Lee, and speaking
Mhm.
of another ridiculous nationals,
Mhm.
like the Korean men look strong,
Mhm.
right? Sihyeong Lee skated very well here, and I want to make sure that we don't forget to talk about Junwon Cha, who was here
Mhm.
at this event, but withdrew after the short program. Did we hear anything about why he withdrew?
I saw his fans on Twitter threatening Adea boots and blaming them. So I think there's some speculation he's been having boot drama all year. I also saw one of his fans put together a timeline of all the different statuses of his boots at different events. So I think that's the rumor, but I have not heard anything official to
Oh,
date. I hope he's okay.
oh,
Um,
fan
I
bases.
saw some photos of the Juna Bauer in practice. Unfortunately, we didn't get to see his free skate, but
Yeah,
he's had a couple difficult seasons up and
he
down.
has. Yeah, and then he comes back strong late in the
Mhm.
season.
Mhm.
But like the Korean qualifying is very mathematical, right? Like it is
Mm.
all about the points that you score at very specific events. This one is not one of those. But, you know, Jungwon Cha's yeah, I know. Jungwon
They can't leave
Cha's
him off the Olympic team.
spot
I'm
is
gonna have to lay
not
down. I'll be
I
really
know.
upset.
No. I agree, but it is not a foregone conclusion, right?
Mm.
So, between him, Young Lee skating so well,
Mhm.
I really like his Bolero free
Yeah.
skate.
Yeah.
Like we talked about this earlier in the season, where it's
The
like
Costner Bolero.
there's the Carolina Costner references,
Mhm.
there's the Virtue Moyer references.
Mhm.
Like this is a man who is a student of figure skating and loves to watch it, I think.
Mhm.
And I think that he gets a lot of inspiration from other skaters that he likes, and you see that, it's never more apparent than in this
Mhm.
Bolero free skate. So, 242 there. You add someone like Hyung Kim, who qualified that second spot. Like, there's a lot
Mhm.
that could happen at Korean nationals for the Korean men. So
Mhm.
watch for that. We talked about Jason Brown, Nika Egadze. He's usually
I
up and
mean,
down,
his free
and
skate
I
was
think
good. That's the
I,
best I've seen him skate
I
in a while.
agree. I agree.
Um
I think he's made some very good musicality
Mhm.
improvements.
Mhm. Some.
So, yeah, I mean it's visible. He's
I'm gonna
working
have
on it.
a meltdown on these components, the top
I
3 once
mean,
we get to Shaidorov, so get ready.
Michelle was texting me over the
Ugh.
weekend about it already. Um, Shaidorov 282, landed a bunch of quads. The programs are not quite there yet for me.
That's one way to put it. I was wondering, is the last quad toe in his free skate, did he improvise that because he messed up the other one and he was like, "I'm doing this," because his last jumping
It
pass was
was
like a quad toe
it was
in
well, and it was
combination.
like out of nowhere,
Yeah.
right? Um, no, I don't think so, because he said something like, I forgot what he said. He said something about putting 5 quads in his
Mhm.
free skate because of something else that was 5, like the 5
Mm.
Olympic rings. I
Mm.
don't remember what it was.
The 5
Um,
Truciva quads.
the 5 something.
Yeah.
There was some significance with the 5, so, uh, that last quad
Okay.
was not improvised, I'm
It's
pretty
interesting that
sure.
he does that last instead of a triple, but
Yeah.
yeah. I I had a big issue with the components in this competition. And I know that we're in Kazakhstan and this is Eastern Europe and, the judges are inclined a certain way, but this was absolutely ridiculous. And I think in the short program in particular, you had Egadze who had some errors in his short program, is not the strongest skater in terms of skating skills. Choreography, I think, has improved for him, but still, like this is in a different category than Jason Brown. And
Yeah.
then Shaidorov, his short program like didn't have any choreography in it. At least for the first minute, he's just setting up jumps. And I always complain about his skating skills. I feel like he never hits a curved edge. He kind of will lean to the side, but it's never like a true like a curve. He never like gets his blade into the ice. He's very on the surface. And these components, just the skating skills score in the short program, Jason Brown gets an 8.75, Shaidorov gets an 8.2, and Egadze gets an 8. I'm sorry, like, is 8 the whole
That's
range? Like, we're all gonna get
that's not
8s?
that is not a large enough range between those.
I mean, and get, like, Jason had a couple little errors in his short, maybe he's not gonna be in a 9 there, but there should be, like, a full point and a half between him and these other 2 guys, at least.
Well, but it's like if you're gonna give someone like an Egatse a 40,
Mhm.
you don't give Sihyeong Lee a 37,
Yeah.
right? Like Sihyeong Lee is a very strong skater.
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
Artistically, like basic skating, I would say Sihyeong Lee's skating is stronger than Nika Egatse's.
I'd
So
make an
agreed.
argument for Litvintsov too, over
Yeah.
the top 2 here with his man bun that he grew over the summer. He got rid of his Game of Thrones short program, though. He came out with that man bun, and I was just like, "Oh, he kept," and he didn't. It's a very unusual piece of music, but anyway. There's a moment when a phone rings in his short program, and then the way it paused, I thought it was gonna be like, "It's Britney, bitch." Like, I don't know, just the way it was, and it was some other weird thing. I don't know. Litvintsov is always entertaining. But these components were very I had a moment like, I need to stop watching this sport. This is so upsetting to me. We're just deciding who the medalists are with components with nothing to do with the actual skating.
Yeah, for Jason in that program and not having like he made one mistake,
Mhm.
for him to have gotten lower than 44, like it was 43.92 for that
Mhm.
program is just ridiculous.
Yeah.
Anyway, I do think this happens every season with some of these challenger events, like you said, kind of
Mhm.
sort of the ones um, that are generally a little bit smaller, um, generally in countries that don't host the bigger events. You see some of these sort of aberrant components that just kind of fly up for no reason.
It shouldn't be
Um,
tolerated.
yeah, I mean, I do think Shidorov at his best when the program is working, when the composition is
Mhm.
working, is a skater who should be getting about a
7.
40. Yeah, se- sevens and
7.25.
7.25.
You can give him an 8 for performance if he skates
Yeah.
it really well.
Yeah. And I think that's where he should be, and that's where he kind of was here without all the stuff that we were talking about, right? So, we saw this last season with Shaidorov where the first time he debuted the programs, we were kind of like, oh, really? Like, is this working? And then it got better and better over the season. So, yeah, we'll see where that goes.
So that's my soapbox. I was very frustrated.
You're not seeing any of this, folks, but Michelle has flipped over a number of tables in her apartment, and it's a big mess.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, we're gonna get away from the big mess. And Michelle, what are you obsessed about besides the component scores for the men's event at Denis Ten Memorial?
You know what's crazy? Like, I watched all the skating, and I still want to talk about that junior pair free skate choreographed by Wenjing. It made me excited, and it was really nice skating, and I liked it a lot. So Zhang and Feng, I think, are my moment of the week. Good for them.
I mean, that's what you've been talking about. I'm going to talk about DS Yerenbayev, who lesser known skater from Kazakhstan, the number 2 from Kazakhstan. He skated a very strong short program here at Denis Ten Memorial. I think I think he's a beautiful skater. I think he often gets shafted when it comes to components because he doesn't have a consistent triple axel and he's not, more well known. But I think he's an absolute delight to watch. He's one of those who, are just like not quite the David Lutenbrain or the Yari Kesslers of the world, but in that same kind of category of just like beautiful skating. So if you haven't watched that, folks, you should, because it's a great program.
Nice. I haven't, and I will.
You should. You should. All right. So that's it for this week's Rocker Skating Podcast. It was refreshing to just cover one competition instead of like 5.
Covering 3 more in the news. Yeah.
Yeah, go to our news of the week if you have not, because we talk about the Cup of Nice, the Junior Grand Prix in Poland, and what else do we talk about? Oh, the Italian test skates. Like there's a lot of that going on, and as the season goes on, we're gonna get a lot of these sort of like random little things that we will keep you updated on. But coming up this week, the last Junior Grand Prix of the season. Before the Junior Grand Prix final, which I feel like is I think because you and I are both paying attention to these Junior Grand Prix more this season, it's like, oh, didn't realize it was already over. The Challenger Series event in Georgia, which will
not feature Wakaba.
Okay, no Wakaba. We'll look at those component scores and see what we have to say about those. And then, as I said at the top of this podcast, it is October, and that means the Grand Prix is going to start very soon. So, if you have your seatbelts near, buckle them. If you think we have been watching a lot of skating, you're going to watch a lot more skating, and it's going to get better and better, God willing. And the Olympics are right around the corner. So, we're getting there, folks.
Yes, we are.
Any final last words, Michelle?
Which Grand Prix are you going to in person this year?
Definitely Skate America. Nick McCarville has been trying to get me to go to Saskatchewan.
No, I want to go to hang out with Nick. Barb's going to be there too.
I know.
I was considering Finland. We'll see.
Oh.
The flights are very inexpensive that time of year,
right?
Believe it or not.
I am trying to finagle my schedules such that I could do Japan Nationals. That's the one.
Yes, finally!
That's the one.
You've been needing to go to that.
I know.
Yes.
I know. That's the one that I'm trying to get myself to. So I just got to get my schedule right and figure it out. So if it's at the expense of another Grand Prix, I think it will be. So we'll see.
Worth it.
Yeah. All right. Well, for Michelle Ellis, this is Jackie Wong, Chief Skate Nerd of rockerskating.com. As always, we are grateful to your sponsorship, John Wilson Blades. And we are absolutely grateful for you, Tara Nichols, our producer and editor, for making us sound good. And we're going to get some sleep and see you again next week when we talk about the Challenger Series in Georgia. All right. Have a great week. Bye.